Hi, everybody. I am Celia Milton, and I am your officiant of choice in North Jersey. And I am here with my colleague and friend and podcast partner, Andrea Pertel, who is your go to officiant at the Jersey Shore and Central Jersey. And maybe if you're really nice to her, maybe Cape May. We have you covered anywhere you'd like to be. If you've been listening to us for any amount of time, especially recently, you'll know that we're obsessed with the idea that your wedding venue should feel like you, not every other wedding you've ever been to, not like a big, giant beige space with a cash bar and a DJ playing Celebration for the 14th time. Well, today's episode, we're going to talk about things we really love about the wedding venues. And we have an incredible company that really makes that so easy for you to find your perfect place. We're talking about Fearless Restaurants. And if you haven't heard of them, buckle up because you're going to have a lot of new favorite restaurants, not only for your wedding, maybe for your rehearsal dinner, your after party, and just going out to eat at the Jersey Shore or in Philadelphia.
Yeah. Yeah. Fearless Restaurants. Actually, the episode before this, we spoke with Pete of Daddy O's and Tucker's Tavern in LBI, Long Beach Island, New Jersey. And they are owned by Fearless. So today we're talking to Sydney with Fearless Restaurants and their restaurants that are mainly in PA. And it's so great because Sydney grew up in the restaurant business. Fearless Restaurants is family owned, and we all know the pros of a family owned business over corporate. Family owned prioritizes legacy over short term profits. Family owned is known for fostering strong, loyal relationships with their employees as well as their
Absolutely.
customers. And the really cool thing about Fearless Restaurants, it's grown organically over time, and their model is intentional. It's an independent feeling, creative, and experience driven, not corporate. So each of their restaurants is individual in their own way. They are not all the same restaurant. They all have their own unique personality. And one of my favorite parts about Sydney is she's passionate about supporting women as she is the first in her family's generation to enter the business. And of course, we're women owned businesses. One thing I want to point out before we go any further is in that interview that you will hear up next, we talk about their latest restaurant called Triple Crown, which is located in St. David's, PA. And they are hosting an Art of the Party, which is an open house for couples planning their wedding or other event, as well as vendors such as event planners or anybody who wants to go see this So June 11th, the Art of the Party at Triple Crown.
It's a beautiful space too. It's just gorgeous. They're all their spaces are beautiful, including the boat. Yes. A boat. We've been on the boat.
I haven't. You have. That's pretty cool.
It's so cool. The Moshulu. It's an antique sailboat. It can accommodate up to 170 people. They've got a number of different spaces on the boat, including like the outside deck. Oh my God, it's so cool. If you've ever dreamed of getting married on the water, I mean, it's a thought we've all had, right? I think so. Mm-hmm. This is the kind of venue that makes your guests insane when they get there in the best possible way, because it's just so dramatic and fabulous and gorgeous. We've been talking a lot lately about micro weddings. The whole industry is talking about that. If you're newer to the podcast, micro weddings are basically your intimate ceremonies and celebrations, usually around 50 or under, sometimes way under, sometimes 10. Your closest ride or die people. But the one thing they all have in common is they prioritize guest experience, and yours too, over scale. You don't have to invite everybody because somebody's feelings are going to get bent out of shape. If you have a small group of people, it's really easy to understand why you're doing what you're doing and why your guest list is that little. It's the closest people to you. Micro weddings are about creating something meaningful for those people who matter the most to you. And the trend is not going anywhere. By nature, it's going to be less expensive because there's simply less people, but it gives you so much latitude in the food that you pick, the settings, and the general experience. And I think that's something that Fearless Food does really, really well. They have all their restaurants are completely different personalities, right? Mm-hmm. This brings us back to Fearless Foods. Here's the thing. It's restaurant quality, fabulous handmade food, which is something that people are starting to not want to compromise on. We say this with love for our incredible banquet hall partners because there's some truly fabulous ones. But there's something a little bit different about having a restaurant wedding. There's a different kind of atmosphere entirely. And that's what Fearless Foods really does so well. I think the Tucker's Tavern and Daddy-O's, Andrea, you're a shore person. Don't you think that they really are they're just appropriate for the shore, but they really carry that like shore experience to the end?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And they're fabulous. And their vibes are each slightly different, but very shore. Yeah, they're great.
I love that the little postmodern hotel that they have on top of Daddy-O's. It's so cute. I love it. I love it. Here's, I think, something that everybody is going to be really comfortable with. It's really going to hit a note. Venue shopping can be completely overwhelming. You Google, you scroll, you drive around looking at places, you talk to your friends. Sometimes you've been to 6 venues and none of them really feel like you. Fearless Restaurants have dedicated concierges whose entire job is to listen to you as a couple and match you to a space that will fit you perfectly. Maybe you're folksy, maybe you're boho, maybe you're sophisticated and suave. Maybe you want something intimate, maybe you want something festive or waterfront or that boat or the city. They take all that guesswork out of it and a lot of stress. You're going to feel completely at home in the venue that you picked. And
isn't that fabulous that they have that? That's so fabulous.
and they have so many to pick from. It's their portfolio is all those restaurants are completely different. So, and you'll hear a little bit about what each one is like today, but definitely go to their website, book a call with them, and they'll walk you through all the possibilities. And check out the Triple Crown. The Art of the Party sounds like so much fun. They'll introduce their brand new venue to their clients and planners, and it just sounds like something you don't want to miss. Yeah. So here we go. Here's Sydney. Sydney Grimm's partner, director of business development at Fearless Restaurant. You've been busy because you have a lot of restaurants, 14 locations in Greater Philadelphia, and they're all distinctive and fabulous and beautiful. And their website, you just need to go to look at it. Sydney helps engaged couples go from being overwhelmed by so many venue choices to being confident in a space that fits their vision. She can match you with the perfect Fearless room that feels like you, whether it's the Autograph Brasserie, see, I got that right, on the main line, Rosalie and Wayne, or the Moshulu, the beautiful venue on the Philadelphia waterfront, or one of their other distinctive and delicious venues. And we are as usual, going to end up being at the end of this recording. We're both going to be starving because the
I know.
pictures are so gorgeous. Tell us all about your venues, your process, your history. How'd you get there? I'm going to just let you talk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me say one thing. We did have Pete from Daddy-O's and Tucker's Tavern on, which is airing today, part of Fearless. So I just wanted to mention that.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited to hear what Pete had to say.
That's great.
Unlike Pete, I grew up in the business. Pete's been with the company and working with my dad for over 20 years, which is pretty incredible. I started working in the business when I was 12 and actually helped Pete move all of the furniture into Daddy-O when I was 14. So, a true family business. We've been in business for 40 years. I'm a second generation restaurateur in the family business, fourth generation overall. So we had my Italian side of the family had a place up in New York. My grandfather had a tavern called Central Tavern down on 19th and Ludlow in Philadelphia. And then the rest is really history with my dad and myself. I actually started work with my dad at age 12 as just a coat check attendant for events and a la carte dining at our restaurant Moshulu down on Penn's Landing. It's a 400-foot ship. It's the
so
only place, type of restaurant of its kind. So there are other 400-foot ships, but none are actually used for dining. So it's a 4-masted tall ship. It was built in 1904 in Glasgow, Scotland. And brought over during World War II. It was seized from the Germans in World War II and brought over to the United States and docked in Philadelphia at the Naval Yard. And then it was converted into a restaurant by Dorrance Hamilton, who was the heiress of Campbell Soup, and made into a restaurant.
Wow. It's so cool. We've actually been there. And I think I said the name wrong, so I apologize for that.
No, you're right.
It's really so cool. It's very distinctive and unique, and I think it's definitely a place to look at. It's a wow facility for sure.
It is. It definitely is a wow facility. We do about 75 weddings a year there. We have weddings really that will go up. We have event space for up to 2,200 people if you did a full buyout of the ship. But each one of the dining rooms, I would say, are more small and intimate. We have outdoor decks that are heated and cooled. So you can have really events there year round. And the indoor, I will say dining room, I don't love to say banquet space, dining room, can accommodate about 170 guests. So it's a little bit more intimate. Mm-hmm. And then we just opened our newest event space at the Radnor Hotel in Wayne, PA. So right by Villanova. And we can do events here, about 450 seated with a dance floor under a Sperry sailcloth tent. We also have a glass conservatory next to that, a outdoor patio, a barn as a bar. So there's tons of opportunities here at Triple Crown at the Radnor Hotel in Wayne, PA, as well as an indoor event space that can accommodate about 250 seated with a dance floor.
Great.
Wow. That's amazing. And, I know that you guys own Fearless owns a lot of restaurants, obviously, but if you look at them, and we will put the link to Fearless Restaurants on our website and the social media site, so you can go right there and you can choose what restaurant you want to look at. They all intentionally feel independent, creative, experience driven, not corporate. They still have that family. They're all different. You know what I mean?
Correct. Yeah. So we're family owned and operated. We have about, I have 2 of my aunts in the business, my uncle, my dad, myself. So there's about 5 of us in the family business. And we have been a long time. I've gone down to the Jersey Shore since I was born. My parents grew up going down there. So our foray into basically the early 2000s, we got into Long Beach Island, and we've been there ever since. So we are very entrenched in the LBI, specifically community. And my family actually has a family home down in Stone Harbor. And my aunt and uncle lived on the top floor. We lived on the bottom floor, and it was always shoving 20 kids in a house and lots of fun.
It's a Jersey summer. Yeah, for sure.
Jersey summer, Trundle. I think
sleeping on the patio.
Yeah, exactly. We would sleep on the patio at night. It was, I think my bedroom is like 7 by 8. It's really tiny. We have bunk beds, and we would fit like 6 people in there. So
it was good times. Yeah. Being in these different places and stuff. Every restaurant, every one of your restaurants is unique to themselves. They're all different and unique to themselves. Yeah.
And all the pictures on the website is just beautiful. It's beautifully done. The food looks gorgeous, but the settings also look beautiful too. And they are so different. And I think there's really something for everybody, honestly.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. I think one of the things that we really strive for is we want our restaurants to feel like you're escaping, you're going off to somewhere special, and not necessarily that they need to be fancy. Our Tucker's Tavern down the shore, as you learned with Pete, is more of that gastropub tavern family atmosphere. And then we have places like Moshulu or Rosalie and Wayne or Autograph where you really want to host a special occasion there. So I think there's a little bit for everyone. But one of the biggest things my dad and I focus on is wanting people to feel transported through interior design.
You've been in this business for a long time, growing up in it. What does hospitality look like in 2026 as compared to, say, 10 years ago? What are trends? What's the difference now?
I think things that we are currently seeing is millennials, which is my age group, really wanted these big weddings. We wanted weddings that were, 200, 300, 400 people. And I think that as the generation is shifting, people are really looking for events that feel intimate, that feel personal, that feel authentic, and really where they feel like they can really enjoy the evening and sit down and actually eat their dinner as opposed to bopping around and engaging with their guests throughout the evening. They really want to feel like it's they can really have meaningful time with each one of those guests. So I would say that that's a trend that we're definitely seeing is downscaling of weddings. I would also say from a hospitality angle, I think the corporate restaurant chain has had its day. I think something that has been really important to Fearless has been really maintaining our authenticity as a collection of restaurants. Nothing irks me more than when I hear people say that, oh, they're a chain, because we're not. We maintain full ownership of our restaurants. Every single one of our restaurants feels different. Even our White Dog cafes, we have 5 White Dog cafes, and every single one is decorated differently.
Yeah, that's nice. I thought that's really what sets you apart, is that they're all unique to themselves. So a couple is looking for a place. What advice do you give them in choosing a restaurant in which to hold their event or their wedding?
One of the important things specifically about Fearless is that we have 7 events concierges here in-house. And we call them events concierges because they actually came up through the ranks as service professionals. They're not salespeople. So anytime that and what's special about that is they're not trying to drive business just to drive business. They're trying to find the right venue for you. So when it comes to Fearless in general, they'll ask you questions like very basic, right? What is the vibe and the feel of the experience that you want to have? And it's very important that whether Fearless, let's say White Dog Cafe in Chester Springs is right for you or not, I encourage everybody to call us because we have so many different types of options. We have places that feel like old farmhouses. We have nautical. We have historic. We have much more modern. We have places that require a lot of decoration and places that require no decoration at all. So I think that there's a little bit of something for everybody. And then, of course, we have places down the shore, Tucker's, which is on the water, and Daddio that has 26 guest rooms above it for your immediate bridal party, which I think is really special as well. So anytime that people are trying to find, I see it a lot specifically on Facebook groups, ask crowdsourcing really, where should people go? Based off of like their desires. And I always think that Facebook is a great place to look for things like that. But I encourage you to call Fearless because we can certainly help narrow down some selections. And we have wonderful partners in the industry as well. If we don't have something for you, hey, let me call my friend Michelle Bach over at Longwood Gardens, or, the Willows has a similar vibe to Triple Crown, but their price point is much lower than ours. So we can certainly help accommodate you in a lot of different ways. And we're just so entrenched in this neighborhood that we'd love to help people.
So that's so great for the couple, because people don't know where to begin sometimes, or what they want. They kind of know the vibe that they want. So this is like having calling Fearless Restaurants and saying, we love your restaurants. It's like having a personal concierge, for their experience, to provide that, expert advice, and, find out what exactly you want and give your advice. And then they could set up an appointment to go view the venue, correct?
Correct.
They all have very different personalities. And I think, they're all very classy and pretty and exciting, but they're all very different. And, I feel like people really do need to go to to your website and kind of like paw through them. Because, sometimes you have like a notion of what you want, but you can't really get a whole taste of what a venue is going to be like by just looking at the name. When I looked at the Tucker Tavern, it was totally not what I expected. I'm like, this looks like not that it didn't look fun. It just didn't look like what I expected. And when I went and kind of poked around a little more, and Daddy-O's is just like cool. Those are the ones that just people, you may be surprised. We hear from people all the time. It's like, I thought I wanted this, but then I walked into this place and it was so welcoming and fun, and the food was so good that we decided on the spot we were going to do that.
Yeah, I think for us, a keystone of our hospitality is just making people feel warm, welcome. And like, that's, many people can say that, but I think that our team really does it. We hire our team and really we foster long-term loyalty to my dad, Marty, and myself, I think, because we really live what we preach. I think that, one of the hallmarks is, that hospitality really is about just having people around a dinner table, making people feel warm in your home, and treating the restaurants like they are our home when we're operating them. Each one of our general managers really is an owner on premise, and that's really important to us, that they feel completely empowered. We had a example the other day of a child that is going through chemo treatment and was coming in for their quinceañera. And my team reached out to me and sent an email over to me and our director of operations in Philadelphia. His name is Tomas. And they said, hey, Tomas, because they know that Tomas has mariachi bands come to his house, and said, hey, can we hire that mariachi band that you use at your house for your celebrations with your family? We really would love to do that for her quinceañera, and my answer was absolutely. Like, what could be better than to make somebody's day really extra special, especially somebody that is, going through Make-A-Wish and such a terrible time in their families' lives, right?
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful story. What a way to come together as a community and all. I like that. Very nice. How about any have you had a favorite wedding story?
Yeah, I would say that our most recent wedding at Triple Crown, which her name is Lauren Dow, and she really, I would say, she was the first wedding at Triple Crown. It was last September. And she really trusted us with her wedding and trying to get this venue open on time. And I will tell you that the venue was not perfectly open to how we would have wanted it, because we had delays in construction. And she really trusted us to get her wedding to where it needed to be in order for her to be happy. And our team really rallied around getting this wedding produced in a way that we felt really proud of. And I would say that is probably one of my favorite weddings to date, because of the trust that she instilled in us.
Yeah. Isn't that such a good feeling? That's such a good feeling, right? And making it all come together.
And feeling like you pull it off,
Yeah,
I know.
Pull it off.
We're like, yay, okay. Yeah. I love the pictures from the boat. They're like, just, oh my gosh, they're just fantastic. That just looks like so much fun. Do you have to have 2,200 people to get on the boat, or can you have a smaller group of people?
You can. So it's really up to, I would say, about 170, 180 is where you max out at the boat.
Okay.
We do a lot of rehearsal dinners, welcome parties in particular, specifically when people are having larger events, maybe in the Philadelphia area, doing rehearsal dinner on the deck, for around 100, 125. And then you have your welcome party there, and it's under the skyline of Philadelphia, under the Ben Franklin Bridge. It's just super, super special.
Super fun.
You guys have a great Instagram too. I'm sure each venue has its own Instagram, but the Fearless Restaurants Instagram page is really beautiful. You can get a real feel for all of these restaurants on there, all of the Fearless restaurants on there. So I'll tell our listeners that we will be putting a link to Fearless Restaurants Instagram on our social media pages, as well as it's always in the podcast. Each episode has the links as well. So you can go right to that, click on it, and really look through the restaurants and get hungry and and see which one you're really drawn to, and then reach out. So are you guys booking still for 2026 for your restaurants, for all of them, or are you guys going to 27, 28 now?
So yeah, we're going into 27 and 28 for brides that like to plan out, like myself. I would say that because Triple Crown just opened and is actually going to be doing our first real event, where we have the entire facility open on May 2nd.
Yeah, that's exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you. So brides really like to see things complete. So for us, we are still booking for 2026. One of the really exciting things that we have coming out 15th, we're throwing an event called Art of the Party. So for any of your listeners out there, Andrea and Celia, yourselves, we would love to host you. Art of the Party is an experiential event designed around coming and enjoying a event around the art of hospitality at Triple Crown at the Radnor Hotel. So KPW Productions, her name is Kathy Warden, is producing the event with myself and a group of individuals known as the Mainline Collective, like photographer Alex Shawn, Lauren Addis, who has artists coming and live painting in the garden that day. Alana Toasty, who runs Modern Luxury Weddings here in Philadelphia. So I highly encourage you guys to come out and check out. So you get to experience what a wedding at Triple Crown would feel like.
Oh, that's really cool.
What's wonderful about Triple Crown, I know many of your listeners obviously are in the New Jersey area, and they might be thinking, well, why are we talking to you? Well, obviously we have 2 locations in New Jersey, but Triple Crown has this Sperry sailcloth tent, a glass conservatory. And again, we also have 200 guest rooms above us at a very reasonable price.
Wow. Yeah.
So it allows you to have a wedding up to 450 people with all of your guests in one spot. You physically don't even need to leave the property. There's also 500 parking spaces around it, located right off of 476, 76, and 95. So it's incredibly, incredibly easy to get to, and only 20 minutes away from the airport in the suburbs of Philadelphia on the main line.
Oh, that is great. Yeah. Well, here in New Jersey, people we do weddings in the Philly area. We do weddings in New York, Hudson Valley area, and we speak to vendors all there. That is really great. Wow. You can really host something there, right? And be all inclusive. There's nothing better than leaving a wedding reception or an event and just going up to your room. You have to get the Uber or where, you can really be free to have a good time, right?
Exactly.
That's fabulous. So for this Art of the Party, this is for couples that want to go to that too, right? Anybody can go.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's for corporate and social event planners. It's for vendors. It's also for brides, their families to come and enjoy, and even our nonprofit clients who are looking to book events, as well as corporate clients looking to book events. So really, we are curating a list of people who are, looking to book events over the course of the next, calendar year to come out, enjoy a party, and really feel what it feels like to have an event at Triple Crown. And to access those tickets, you just go to triplecrownradnor.com and click happenings, and it's featured there, and it's called, again, Art of the Party.
It sounds like so much fun.
We'll put a link to that because I think that's very exciting. And any, event planners, vendors, and then of course, brides and their families and grooms and stuff, check it out and get a feel for Triple Crown as well as, the hospitality of Fearless Restaurants, that's really good. We'll put a link to that as well. That's exciting. Couples wanting to contact you, they're going to go right through the fearlessrestaurants.com.
That is correct. Fearlessrestaurants.com.
Yes, and they can contact you through that, or they can go to the individual restaurant as well and contact you through there and see about getting a tour, seeing if their date is available, and then also, finding out what restaurant works best for them. The amount of people, the vibe they want, coming in from the airport, all of that stuff, needing rooms, go to Triple Crown. Triple Crown just looks fabulous on Instagram.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, we have, there's also its own event page specifically for weddings, which is events.triplecrownradnor. And that allows you to just see events that we've hosted here as well. So think of that more. It's almost like a Pinterest page that you can kind of reference what previous events might look like.
Okay.
They're all beautiful. They're all so different, and they're all absolutely gorgeous. I just went and followed you. I'm following you. It's like all of you. I'm stalking all of you, but they all look so beautiful, and the food is so gorgeous, but they're all such different personalities. I think that almost anybody could find a place that they would feel right at home celebrating it.
Yeah. And the food, I mean, you guys know what you're doing with the food. The drinks look absolutely amazing too.
Well, and I think that that's one of the most important things to note about Fearless is we are a restaurant group first. So for us, service, hospitality, but the food and beverage is you're getting restaurant level food and beverage. This is really a chef cooking this food, and that it feels like a restaurant experience, not a wedding experience, right? There's a difference.
Right, exactly. We did speak to Pete about that and at Daddy O's, and he was also saying, so we don't have a problem doing a micro wedding for, 25, 30 people or a big wedding for, 200 or whatever. And we're a restaurant where we can do this and their food is excellent,
Ladies, thank you so much for your time today. It's been an honor to be on the New Jersey Weddings podcast, and I look forward to partnering with you both in the future.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for joining us, Sydney. And I'll tell our listeners again that we will put the link to fearlessrestaurants.com and to their Instagram, so you can go right there. Thanks again for joining us. We really appreciate it. This podcast is brought to you by New Jersey wedding officiant Andrea Pertel, owner of For This Joyous Occasion Officiating Services.
And Celia Milton, owner of NJ Vows Now, also New Jersey wedding officiating services. We're up in North Jersey, and Andrea is down in Central and South Jersey. So together we cover the whole state, don't we?
Yes.